All right, peace, and blessings to everyone in the world. I guess I'm just gonna go in. You wanna know what the world needs? What we all need? We all need true concepts of God. I'm talking about true, definitive, descriptive concepts that explain whatever tidbit, whatever facet of his personality that we can grasp in clear-cut and concise language. And the world needs that, because what the problem is that we don't know our Father. And by us not knowing our Father, we can't truly grasp what he has done, the work that he does. So we need true concepts of the Father. And with these true concepts, we know what he would and would not do. You know, because when you understand his personality, his character, his name, the Most High becomes very predictable. He becomes very comprehensible. Like, for example, what Christ said, a true concept is this: how can anything bad come from that which is all good? That's a true concept, which leads you to start to wonder within your mind, to question within yourself, what in fact are true concepts of our Father. You know, what causes us to look at him and say, oh, you know what? This is who he is. So because of who he is, we know he would not do this or that. So true concepts allow us to stay within parameter of our thinking, of our thought process of him. He created all things to be of service and of benefit to the image of God, which is man. So you would know that this is the reason why in my previous video I told you disasters are not natural. They're not natural, they're man-made. They're man-made in the sense of neglect of his creation. All things were made to be good, not disastrous, but good. Disastrous is natural. Discord is unnatural. So true concepts of the Father leads you to rightly think, rightly conceive who he is. And by you being able to conceive who he is, you know who he's meant to, you know how you're meant to be because of who he is. You know, yeah, the Most High is all good, and man is not all good, but man must strive to be all good. And in his striving, chasing after the Father's perfect good, man becomes that perfect good, which soon leads him up to the throne of life. See, the problem is, just like I've said in my previous video just the other day, we're out here conducting works of death more than we are works of life. So you have destruction and discord everywhere. Because we don't know who our Father is. And we continue to struggle because we don't know him. And the purpose of knowing him is so that we can image after him. So that we can make ourselves like him, because we are meant to be the image of the Father. And the thing is, we neglect to try to chase after him. What does a son do, towards his father, but admire his every work? But try to be just like his father. He sees his father in the workshop hammering away and carving at the best of wooden material. The son aspires to be just like the father, so he gets his little play toys his little play hammer, and he begins to chip away at his toys in order to mimic his father. So the sons of God are meant to do the exact same thing. I see what my father has done, in a sense, and it is good. And what he does is life. So his work is life. His profession is life. His gift is life. So I'm going to do my best to work to sustain that life, or to be a part of the production of that life. Not as if I would need it to be a production of that life, of his work, as if he needs me. No. Because the Father needs no one, no thing. He desires no one, no thing, but that we all have a perfect and a pure heart towards him. You know, and when it comes down to it, to join his profession or the work of life means this. Point blank period. If I were a part of a corporation, and let's say I become a worker in that corporation is my livelihood. That corporation is the means by which my means of life, you know, by which I live, you know, to get the means to do whatever I need to do, you know. So I'm going to protect that corporation. Any small thing that happens within that profession, that industry that I am a part of, any small thing that happens in that industry will affect me. No matter how big, no matter how small, it will affect me. So what you or anybody does in the work of life towards the profession of the Most High, even if you're sinning, because here's the thing about sinners and evildoers. They want to be able to do their evil. They want to be able to do their wickedness and be left alone. They want to do their wickedness and they say, you know what? I'm harming me. I'm not harming you, so leave me alone. No. If you're harming yourself, you're harming me. You are my brother. And yes, I am my brother's keeper. Unlike Cain, who felt as if he were not his brother's keeper. But yes, I am. You know, and I'm meant to keep my brother, to love my brother, to help my brother, to ensure that my brother, you know, is doing the right thing or learning all things that I know towards the Father. So I share with him the fruits of knowledge that I've received from the Father. And the Father treats every man alike. Y'all need to understand this. Everyone needs to understand this. Yeah, he has chosen people, but he chose in righteousness a chosen people. And that chosen people has a task to do, which is to bring the knowledge and the awareness of God to the entire world. But we are all created equal. You know, and equality is a state in which we are created. Inequality is what we ourselves work and have done towards ourselves. If I've done an evil deed, then towards me the Most High will have to express that judgment according to the things that I've done. If I've done a righteous deed, the Most High will have to execute that judgment according to that which I've done. You know, all equally. Because if I turn around from my wickedness and do righteousness, then he will treat me according to that, with grace and mercy, mind you. Considering all my previous wickednesses forgotten. So the world needs true concepts of God. Y'all need to know your Father. And by knowing your Father, you can know what you ought to be. You can know how to treat your brother man. You can know all of these things. So here's the thing. We need true concepts of God, but where can we go to get them? You know, the scriptures says that his name is I am what I am. Okay? And what I am is a product of my work. Okay? Within my work, you can perceive who I am. Okay? So I would never do anything. My hands would never perform anything contrary to that which I am. So the best teacher, or the more stoic, strict, firm, absolute tell all of who the Most High is from the works of his own hands. When you see the sun rise and you see the sun penetrate the atmosphere, giving the atmosphere all types of good blessings every day. This one, first of all, tells you that the Most High gives to all equally, all alike, because the sun rising and setting, it rises and set on the evil and the just alike. You know, so if he does that with the sun, he does it with everything. We all breathe air, evil and the just alike. We all breathe air, the gift of air, the exact same. You don't get air and I don't. I don't get air and you don't. We both get air alike. You understand me? We both gather water alike. The rain falls on all of us alike. The sun rises on all of us alike. You understand me? Equally. No difference. But the elect have learned to perceive these things. You hear me? They've learned to see the works of God, and they comprehend the works of God and can make use of the works of God accordingly. When man gets beside him, gets out of his own way, out of his own selfish way, and starts to realize that all things are not his, but he is yet steward of the things that belongs to his Father, then he can make use of those things that belong to his Father according to the will of the Father that you see in the sun, you see in the air. His will is that to all be given equally, of equal measure, that which they deserve. Now, getting close to the Father requires work. You know, and anyone is welcome to put in the work to do it. All of y'all are welcome to put in the work to be elect. You're welcome to put in the work to be elect. You're welcome to put in the work to be called righteous. You're welcome to put in the work to be anything pleasing to the Father. Whether you do it or not, that's a whole nother story, family. That's a whole nother story. You need to understand true concepts of the Most High. And these true concepts will build your faith. Like, for example, when you know that your hands have done a good deed, you can rest assured the one who rewards will reward you for that good deed. You know, because in the world, I can do whatever I need to do with my hands, but the product of my hands can be totally different from what I intended them to be, because the world is evil, the world is twisted and wicked. You know, I can intend with my whole heart to do a good thing and receive evil for what I've done, but no, not with the Father. You know, Christ was clear when he said, if the Son asks for a blessing, will the Father turn around and give him a stone? Ask him for water, would he turn around and give him a stone? You know, Christ was clear in getting you to understand that the Most High is the one. If the Most High is not sure to all, then who in fact is? You know, if the Most High is not faithful to all, then who is the one who is? If he's not righteous, if he's not just, if he's not who he is to all, then who is the one powerful enough that is able to be all these things to all? Constantly, continuously, if not the Father. You need true concepts of your Father, so you know who he is, that you can rest assured of who you are. And by resting assured of who you are, you can help your brother man be who he is or who he ought to be. These are the things that we neglect to realize. These are the things we fail at. We need true concepts of the Most High. We need a clear and concise word that helps us reach up and connect to the throne of the Most High. Most High. You understand? That name implies something. Most High. Who else is higher if he's not the most? Name one. But when the world comes to realize that he is good, that he is just, that he is righteous, that he is the only source of wisdom, that he is true, that he is everything conceivable, incomprehensible, beyond measure. When you get this concept and you truly grasp it, then you understand the work you need to do. We all need to perform and chip in with the work of life. You understand me? Not death, life. And life is written in the word of God. You understand me? And now you have to be careful when you go into the scriptures or into the book called Bible, because there are things that are parameters meant for the ones who were sinners. You understand me? There are things written there just to be a standing against the ones that are sinners. But the Most High, when you understand and you perceive that the Most High is the Father of all, incomprehensible, you will understand the living word that he intended for you to have. Not the dead word, but the living word that he intended for you to have. And by this word, you yourself can live, and you can cause your brother man to live when you share the living word to him or to her. You can cause all of us to live. And that's what we are missing out on. True concepts of our Father. True concepts, not fake concepts. Because you look at man, and here's the sad part. You look at a man and you see that he is capable of a fall, but not your Father. He'll never fall. You look at a man and you see that he's capable of being perfect one day, but imperfect the next. But not your Father. He's perfect always, from start to finish, beginning to end. You're talking about a Father who's perfect beyond your comprehension. Because you haven't yet comprehended perfection, because man can only comprehend the thing that he is, and you're not perfect, but the Father is. And how do you comprehend perfection but to say that he is beyond me? His power is beyond me. His just is beyond me. His righteousness is all beyond me. When you humble yourself, only through humility can you understand the true concept of the Father. Only through a pure heart, when he's not there, you do righteousness, can you understand the true concepts of your Father, my Father, our Father. And when we do this, we can gather and we can become one. And we can become righteous according to his perfect will. Perfect will. There's no spot in perfection. There's no shade in perfection. There's not a single stumble in that which is perfect. And when you understand that concept, you can rise up in faith. You can rise up in knowledge and in truth. And we can unite and become one as a people, all of us, according to the will of the Most High. And this is my best. I'm trying to warn y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all. I'm trying to let y'all know who he is so that y'all can rise up and stand firm. Because he's firmer than you. And if he's not firm, who is? You've been warned. Shalom.